What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast here from the West Coast. Get up, early bird gets the worm. Get ready, get up, get ready for work. You already know what it is, man. But today I'm going to be going over episode number 1 of season 2 excuse me. Ooh, I'm so excited of House of the Dragon. Oh my god. When I tell you that I understood why everybody was so captivated with Game of Thrones, it's just nothing but drama, turns, twists. Everybody's vying, vying for the throne. So I'm absolutely loving it. They killed it episode 1. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to actually go over this with you. It's not like the boys where they just dropped 3 episodes on me and half of the stuff I can't show on YouTube, but I can show the stuff that was on Game of Thrones. And good God Almighty, that ending, oh God. But hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant channel. But you already know how I do it. The real question is, all right. Let me see who is all up in here so far. Torn Rain Reloaded, what's up? Good morning. Eric Shaw, good morning. Yes, we are ready. Now, if you have not watched anything from House of the Dragon, don't watch this episode. You might as well bye. Go if you haven't watched it, because there is so much to unpack in this episode. You know what I mean? It's a lot to unpack, especially going off of the previous season of House of the Dragon. You know what I mean? So there is so much to go over. I got notes because a lot of these people's names I can't pronounce. What's up? Good morning, Roberta. Good morning. Uh, but again, if you have been a part of my live streams when I go over an actual review of a show, I go over it in 10-second intervals because I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube. And if I do it by blocks and not actually plan it, it makes it a lot easier. It's just like taking screenshots of the show. So we go over everything, try to get you caught up on this show. I mean, golly, when I tell you, like I said, that this show is crazy. There's so much, especially if you've seen, season 1 and the way season 1 ended. You know what I mean? Is crazy. And, again, vying for the throne, and all of that, and why they're vying for the throne, why the blacks and the greens are really going at it. You know what I mean? So this episode was called Son for a Son. And of course, we're gonna pick up at the beginning. So let me go and share my screen real quick. Right there. I'm gonna share my screen here. So and let me change that angle of that camera right there. Get me right in the good old middle of everything. And let's start off this episode. Of course, this episode, and I got a couple notes here. It is narrated by the Starks, I believe. This is Lord Kragan. Yeah, this is Lord Kragan who is narrating the beginning of this. And he is with Jace, and they're okay. So at the end of season 1, you have the the dynamic of what happened with with Team Green. Basically, we go Team Green to Team Black. Team Green, which is Armand Targaryen, and him being announced as king. They really went against Rhaenyra in Team Black. So we're announcing him. He's going to be the king of of the seven lands, and it was like, no, Team Black. And so at the end, Rhaenyra comes in with her dragon, basically bend the knee because Team Black all day. That's what we're doing around here. You know what I mean? And Rhaenyra has a legitimate claim to the throne because her father did make her the heir. You know what I mean? Until some hokey pokey stuff went in at the end with with King just say is it just saying whatever. The dude who looked like the Crypt Keeper by the end, I think it's Jacaerys. Yeah, King Jacaerys looking like the Crypt Keeper by the end of the series, basically is done. They done put some googly moogly juice, you know what I'm saying, in his Kool-Aid. So he's over there like, my son, Aegon, he will be the next king. And he has some hokey pokey juice. That's all I know. You know what I mean? So, that's basically where we kick off at now. Remember, his brother, was the one who killed Luke. So we're picking up right at that, because again, they were looking for allies. They were going out to the Seven Kingdoms, you know what I'm saying, to look for allies. So in this one, Jace is actually looking, to the Starks as allies. You know what I mean? So that's actually where we pick up in this episode. Tracy Wood, good morning. Eric, you're not lying. This show is so traumatizing. There's some things in this show that I should not see. Or even hear the sound effects of, because jeez. Oh my God. So we're here, and of course, this is, and matter of fact, y'all can hear my voice. I'm gonna full screen some of this until it gets too much, or there's a scene that I gotta, not show. Now, in this, I can say in this season 1, there's not that, it's not to the extreme. You know what I mean? It ain't The Boys, Roberta. It ain't The Boys. But, there's not to the extreme. This actually reminds me, this opening scene remind me of Game of Thrones. I want to say like, what was it? The Winter Coming? Was that season 5? When winter was coming, and the way that they announced it, like winter is coming and all of that. You know what I mean? It was awesome. So Jace is joining Lord Kragan, Stark, and they're talking about, hey, let's be able to get your, basically become the allies of my mother and basically Team Black. Jace is actually kind of curious why they have an ice wall, and the what's his name? I'm sorry. Kragan was like, no, this is because we're trying to keep our death out of here. You know what I mean? So again, that is something that will be foreshadowed in Game of Thrones later on. But the the Raven comes in. Excuse me, the Raven comes in, and Kragan Stark gets the Raven, and we now know that it's revealed that Jace's brother Luke is now dead. So the Ravens are coming in from all of the different places to let them know that they have found pieces of Luke's dragon in the cloak that Luke actually had, which is one of the most terrifying scenes I think I've seen, in this show so far, because the way that this kid rolled that dragon into the dragon's mouth was jacked up. You said Church Auntie rolled out in season 1, somewhere near the brothels and the dragon fight. I'm telling you, I will say that Yeah, you do have your scenes like that here. What's up, Tyra J? What is up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see you in here. Uh, I will say with this, because of the dynamics in there, it makes sense for it's not there just for shock value. It's not there just to say, hey, we're doing something wild here. What's up? What's up with it? Blue was up in here. What's up with it, Blue? Uh, it's not there for shock value or just to be doing something. It is there for a reason. It's part of the storytelling. That's what I really love uh, about the show. Because again, I came on Game of Thrones late, and I started binge watching season one, but it's literally 7 seasons, and then House of the Dragon was coming up, and I was like, you know what? Let me just do House of the Dragon. I've watched some Game of Thrones. Don't get me wrong, I've watched some Game of Thrones, but I was like, let me get into House of the Dragon. And then in the off season, when this is done, I'll finish binge watching Game of Thrones. So that's kind of what I did. Um, but here, this is when they get the Raven, and Jace is aware that his brother is now dead. And I believe, hearing a lot of people that said in the book, that his brother is not dead, but they changed it for the show because that dude is dead. That dude gone. He got ate by the dragon. So here we see Rhaenyra come in, and Rhaenyra, she comes in, and what's funny about this scene is that my man Matt Smith, and I gotta show you. And I heard that's the season that Aaron Rodgers was in. He can show up in Game of Thrones, but he can't show up in mandatory minicamp. But my man, I love, so for one, if you know how much, if you see my coverage, if you was around when I did the coverage of season one, and I didn't have a lot of subscribers did, but when I tell you I love Matt Smith in this show, first of all, my man walks around like, I mean, the everything is just, he's everything in this show. He's conniving, he's cunning, he's hard. He's the dude you love to hate, but you love him. Then you hate him. You know what I mean? You love to hate this. You love to hate Matt Smith in the show, but he is so amazing. You know what I mean? So amazing. But let me kind of, I'm trying to get to my notes. My bad. But I love him in this show. Let me just say that. I love him in this show. But soon as he comes in, and he's talking to Rhaenyra, he's trying to get her to go back and go fight, and try to find to try to get Amon. Is it Amon? I can't think of it right now off tops. And I wrote it down, but when you know how you write something down and it looks different than what you see it. But okay, that was season 8. Okay. But the way that he came in, it was like, no, we need to go ahead and get this dude. It's a son for a son. What are you playing with? And she's trying to keep, and I love this because she's trying to keep it balanced in this show. You're not gonna punk me. You can't punk me. You're not gonna tell me what to do. You're not even a king. You know what I mean? First of all, that's your niece that you're humping. Let's keep it a buck, Damon. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we've seen Damon move in a certain way that starts more problems than it has solutions. So she's trying to back up and like, no, hold on, wait a minute. First of all, that's not what we're about to do. We're not about to do none of what you're talking about. We about to make sure that we got a particular plan. I need Rhaenyra here. You know what I mean? And if she can't be here, then for one, why am I talking to you anyway? Let's get that straight. Why am I talking to you anyway? You know what I mean? So when he knows that he can't be able to have a power play or a power move, he basically walks off. He still tries to make his move, but she's like, nah, son, You know what I'm saying? That woman is grieving. Let that woman grieve. I had to grieve over the loss of my son. So what's the difference between the king, the queen, that is, grieving over her child? He was like, but the queen got duties. I don't care if she's grieving or not. We got stuff that we need to handle. And it's a son for a son, big dog. And she was like, whatever, you ain't the king. But Damon does, you right, Eric. Damon does get stuff done. But we see Rhaenyra here with her dragon, and she looks so defeated. And I love and what I love about this show is that they take enough time on each and every character to give them particular character development that makes you either like them a lot or hate their flipping guts in this show. And I love that. You know what I mean? And we're going over here to the sea captain. Damn, where's my notes at? Hold on, my bad. I think I went a little too far on my notes. But we get here, and there was a battle on here. And again, I'm not gonna play too much. I'm not gonna play too much. But this young man, and I did not write down his name. They were in the battle, the sea battle that was at the end of season 1. He made sure that he got the sea captain. He pulled him out of the sea. Right now, he's hurting. He pulled him out of the sea and just made sure that he was safe. And he owed this guy a debt of gratitude. Now, I will say this: what I did have a problem with season 1 is people that was getting up in arms about black people being in the show, which was ridiculous. You know what I mean? But it does show a hint of world building in here that everybody in this show is just not white. You know what I'm saying? Or Asian. You know what I'm saying? Or Middle Eastern. Or not Middle Eastern or Asian, Middle Eastern. But anyway, it's good to see some black folks in here, saying for a change. And the sea captain is in this guy's debt of gratitude, but there was a battle that was going on. You know what I mean? And he still has to, and again, we're talking about a son for a son, so he even has to come to grips with the death of his son. You know what I mean? But again, it was a debt of gratitude that this guy pulled him from the battle. So we get here, and this is Eric. This is Eric that is part of. I think this is the Eric that is part of Team Green, and then there's the Eric that's part of Team Black. They're twins that actually go and operate on both sides. So they're about to get the Scorpion here, but they see that this dragon comes in, and here this scene. I'm not gonna lie. I like Aemon in this story. And the reason why I like him in this story, because again, in season 1, he was aloof. He was kind of a goofball. You know who he reminds me of? George W. Bush. If George W. Bush was in Game of Thrones, he'd be him. He just there. You know what I mean? He is just there, and he wants his son Jacaerys to go with him and be a part of this council. It's like, but what if it is and the queen was like, well, what if he doesn't want to be king? Which foreshadows a lot. boy. Good God, it foreshadows a lot. And he was like, I still want him there. I don't care. And he just wants him there. And I seen the behind the scenes at the end of this season. And he explains his character is there almost before we get to that scene. Oh boy. He was just explaining how his character is so kid-like, and he loves his kids. But he loves his kids because his kids kind of he let them do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And just let them be. Let them be kids. And doesn't discipline them or nothing like that at all. You know what I mean? So, he's in this scene, going into it is just showing how almost like the childlike wonder that he has in here. What's up, Andre Ware? What's up? So we get to this because somebody's over here getting the whoop-de-doo in between their in between their legs. And of course, man, I'm not gonna lie. Dude is so full of crap. Uh God, Lee. Hold up. Hold up. I'm gonna have to George George W. Bush. But remember, he vowed not to mess with anybody else. And we seen how that shaped out. Because let's be honest, the queen wanted him anyway. Let's just keep it a buck. The queen wanted. What pissed me off is that you know this dude spent so much time. Christian Cole. Sorry, Christian. Christian, literally. What's up, Lonnie J? Like when I tell you, Christian spent so much time. You know, with Rhaenyra saying, "Oh, I wasn't gonna do this and I wasn't gonna do that, and I love you." And remember, she did reject him to go, sleep with her uncle. But you know, she turns around, be like, "Skip it. I go, smash your friend. I go and crunch and munch on your friend. How you like that? I'm." Oh my god. And now he is, I don't know what is up. I mean, she wasn't, let's be real. Let's be real. She wasn't like she was getting it in with her husband anyway, in season 1 because he was literally a corpse. Let's be real. He was literally a corpse. So you want to go and kind of get it when you can. And, at one point, it wasn't doing when he needed. Why she was getting her rocks off. But he's literally like the any of this. So if they found out that the king's mother, the former queen, was out smashing the royal knight, what do you think that's gonna happen? You know what I mean? And yes, this is an ill moment. Like I said, people got problems with black people in Star Wars, but they love this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna stop being petty. Anyway, so they set up here, the blood and cheese story, early in catcher is so they set this up early. This is important if you watch this episode because good God Almighty. So they get the Royal Guard up, and I love him. I'm sorry, he just has this childlike wonder about him. I don't know what I like more about him. I think it's just because he just doesn't give a crap. I think that's why I like Aegon so much. Look at the smile that he has on his face as he walks in. He's like la 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 la. It would probably make the scene even better because he's whistling to get it here. You know what I mean? That's how much he does not care. You know what I mean? He doesn't care. And in this scene, of course, he brought his son here, Jacaerys in here to sit with him. And he's just over here being bad. He's like, yeah, give me that. And I love this because he knows he's being petty, but he's just doing it anyway. And Lana J, you are right. He was like, I read the books. This is so clarifying. I haven't read the books, but this makes me want to because of the amount of pettiness, silliness, all of that that's going into this. Atlanta J, good morning. I didn't tell you good morning. No, Parker said Christian Cole and Allison makes me 6'8". I'm talking about they both wrong. Wrong. But somehow I love it for this show because I like them being wrong. You know, they're only bought it because I hate they have exactly. It is so petty. It is so petty. But that's why I'm glad they have a son like Aegon. I'm glad because he is what makes this show. Him and old Clubfoot makes this show. You know what I mean? But this kid is bad as hell. And this is why I don't like Hightower. What's his name? Hightower. Kid God, where's it at? I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to keep up with all the names. And I had to pull up the name guide because damn it, all of this stuff is Otto Hightower, his punk ass. I'm sorry, Roberta. But Otto Hightower is always trying to get into people's ear. He's for one, Aegon is not on the throne if it wasn't for him in the first place. You know what I mean? But again, I'm glad he put him on the throne because this is that smile that he had. This here, y'all see it? I'm saying this, all of this, the aloofness, just being there. Oh my God, I love every minute of it. Now they're supposed to be talking about raging war against because he can't focus. He's too kid-like. And he does not, I mean, he can, wage his might, but he doesn't really want to. Because he's too busy just watching this guy, the kid coins or whatever they announce him as, over here seeing him lose his shit because the son would not stop playing. And he's like, yo, dude, get your kid. He was like, nah, he wants a pony ride. Are you gonna be his pony? I guess. It was like, we have pressing matters to go around, my lord, my king. You know what I'm saying? Allison, like, hey, she wants some. Hey, man, get from over there. You know what I mean? So again, Otto Hightower doing his conniving stuff and telling the king what he should do. And even Allison is looking like, dude, oh my God, are we gonna go through this stuff again? But again, there is things that need to be accomplished because of the death of Lou. But when Aemon get in here, it icky son of a bitch. And I love it. And he's ruthless. And I would say this. The actor who plays him, I'm fan casting, this is just my fan casting. Doesn't he look like he will be a perfect Mr. Sinister? I'm just fan casting. You know what I'm saying? They can put the muscles on him. We got like he can get bigger or whatever, or they can do the CGI. But I swear to God, the way that he looks, the way he walks in, because he walks in like Damon. Also, you know what I'm saying? Like Damon Targaryen, they got this swag about it. I love it though. I love it. He comes in and he immediately tells Aegon what he should be and should not be doing as far as the battle strategy. And he just let him do it. Like, yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? Chris, sucker. And he's looking, he getting, and I think he loves, and y'all can put it in the comment section, let me know. You know that that Luke's dead and that they're waging this war. I think he actually, rivals it, like he swims in it. He loves it. You know what I mean? And she's like, we got to get this stuff done. And he's like, whatever. Like, oh my God, I love this dude. I love it. I swear to God, I love this dude. It is like we got to be able to handle this stuff. But nope. I don't really care. You know what I mean? I don't really care. But I'll go Clubfoot. Okay, so me Clubfoot here. Larry Strong. Now we all you'll know why I call him Clubfoot. I don't call him Larry. I call him Clubfoot. And he likes defeat a lot. I like it a lot. Again, he's over there doing conniving and sinister things himself, too. So don't get it twisted. He's been in her ear since season 1. eyes all over the place and letting them know that a couple people is already gone and missing. So you ain't got to worry about it. We ain't got no ears, no eyes, no nothing. You know what I mean? And she knows that all this stuff that's going on is messed up, and she just needs some time to herself. I could bathe myself. You know, they're like, my lord, you know what I mean? Nah, let me wash under my under armpits to stink. But again, she's going to go find her son's remains. And again, they were out for her son. And hold on, let me cut it because I don't want to play too much. And she comes riding in. And the way she rode in, everybody was like, uh-oh. You know, I hope she doesn't fry us. But she slid off that joint and she found the remains of the dragon and the clothes of her the cloak of her son. And she completely, because now it's confirmed now that Luke is now dead. You know what I mean? Now, remind you that Corlys thinks his son is dead. Corlys Valerian. He thinks his son is dead. Laenor. But remember, at the end of season 1, Laenor went out and did his own, you know what I'm saying, went away with his lover. So he thinks his son is dead. They faked their death, but there was no faking this. Brother got ate. The brother is in the mouth of a huge dragon right now, and she loses it. You know what I mean? And really, if you notice, there's only, you know, a little bit of dialogue from Daenerys in this whole entire episode. Now, I do love this scene, and there is okay, I'm gonna have to remove the banner just real quick. There is some dialogue. Okay, let me go. So there's some dialogue that they call him Lord of the Seven Kings, King Aegon, the Magnanimous, and he's like, Magnanimous. And then later on, they have jokes about this later on in the episode again, which I absolutely like. Let me put this back on here. I love that they have these little quarrels about, you know, the name that they give them. Now, everybody in the courts here is making their plea to the king. Now, for all the things about Aemon. Aemon is actually, I mean, Aegon, I'm sorry, keep going, Aemon. Aegon is actually a good king, a benevolent king. In the way that, you know, he don't care. Like I said, he's your W. You need your ghosts replaced, I'll replace your ghosts. But if it wasn't for Otto Hightower, dude would have had his goats. You know what I'm saying? You know, he just wanted his goats. He don't really care. He really wants to be loved. He wants to be cherished. You know what I mean? He doesn't really want to be the king of destruction or all of that. That doesn't really bother him. He knows he's on the throne, but you know, he really wants to be loved. And Otto Hightower's like, you know, we got to be able to feed, you know, we got to be able to feed the dragons, so you can't do that. But it's Otto Hightower, you know what I'm saying, that is making the calls for him, which he did it with Jacaerys. He did it with the last 3 kings. So this is nothing new, and he's doing it once again, you know, with Aegon, with Aegon here, you know. But when he comes up and says, "Hey, and look at old Clubfoot," this is what I'm saying. Clubfoot is always there. He knows. He knows that he lurks in the shadows. That's what's good about old Clubfoot. You know what I mean? He's lurking in the shadows. He does not want, I'm trying to tell you, his whole face is like, look, I'm trying to be loved, you over here hating. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. You know what I'm saying? I do whatever you ask me to do. And there's stuff in the background that's going on. Why is that dude coming around with the dog? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. So, you know, when he came, you know, when this blacksmith came around and said, hey, look, now, I need that money up front, big dog, because I ain't going to be able to do it if you don't pay me. If you don't pay my people. And he was like, you know what? Let it be done. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and pay you and get it over with. You know what I mean? Because I got to make sure that the small folks are taken care of. It again is great character development because it's a contrast to his brother Amon in and Aegon. You can see one would have been like, look, we need this done. You'll get the job done, after we're done. But you Bill, I need your best crafts. I need swords. I need all of that right now. And then he's like, you know what? I'd rather take care of you. Go ahead and get the work done. I'll pay you now, and just go ahead and get the work done. But again, old Clubfoot, Larry Strong was like, look, let me have a word with you, big dog. Yeah, let's go ahead and chat over here over for a moment. And he's letting them know that Otto Hightower has been having a strong hold, no pun intended, on being the advisor to the king for generations. Would you really want to allow that for him to continue to have a stronghold on you, even though that's your grandfather? He should not be having a stronghold. I'm just putting something in your ear, big homie. You know what I'm saying? And he's listening to him. Again, George W. Bush. Literally, if Dick Cheney wasn't telling this dude what to do, if George Sr. wasn't telling him what to do, George would have been him. Just there. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. It's all I don't want any trouble, Dick. I just want to be president and then go home to my goats. Again, I love this show. And I couldn't wait for this show to come on. And again, Otto Hightower is and again, he's always his thing was to get his grandson on the throne. He accomplished that, but now again, to be able to keep that seat on the throne, what are you willing to do? And Otto Hightower has all been willing to do something to keep the seat on the Iron Throne. So again, this is him trying to critically talk uh, to his daughter to try to get you know stuff done that he needs to get done because he knows that the war is coming. And Alice's like, yo, I get it taken care of. Dang, you know what I mean? I'll talk to my son. But look, I know we're trying to get this victory done, but damn it, you know what I'm saying? Just got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. You know? So again, I think this is the other Eric. This is Eric and Eric. They're twins. And one Eric is on Team Black, the other Eric is on Team Green. And he finds this particular stowaway. And if you know this stowaway, this was the one who was giving out all the information in season 1. And where is what's her name? But y'all can put it in the chat while I'm looking for it. Missaria. She was the one who was delivering information, aka the White Worm. She was the one who was was putting out the tea out there, getting all of the juicy gossip. And remember, she was Damon's former lover too. You know what I mean? So remember, in season 1, Damon went away with her and was trying to build a life, but that wasn't happening. You know what I mean? He almost fought his brother over that. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, since you out here getting all the dirt and all the secrets, we need to go ahead and put some stuff in his ear. I need the kid. I need you to find out where this kid is at because we're going to kill him and you're going to give me information. You're going to leak information. You know what I mean? So, again, I love that. And again, that's Eric. That's the Eric for Team Black because I can't tell either one of them apart. She was letting them know that this is a double agent, you know what I mean? And you need to go ahead and get this stuff. I need you, big dog. You let them take the throne and you sat there and watched. And Craig let them do it. So I need you to get the best man in here. We got something to do. So again, Rhaenyra, when I tell you Rhaenyra came in and you can see the dragon fury on her, I felt I ain't gonna lie, I really felt bad for her because again, we seen what happened to her son. You know what I mean? So she walks in and she is pissed. And they announce her and all of that. She goes up to Damon and she lets him know Like, you can tell, I mean, he's trying to comfort her in the best way possible. But the best way, but a mother just lost her son, and it was literally her that told Chase. I mean, I'm sorry, that told Luke and Chase, hey, go out to these particular kingdoms because we're gonna need the alliance. We're trying to reach out to everybody who's going to bend the knee and be able to roll with me. So she really feels guilt. If you want to keep it real, she really feels guilt because she is like, you know, it's almost like she sent her son out on a suicide mission. And in that suicide mission, she ended up losing her son. So not only did she feel the loss of her son, she feels like it was her fault, which is so as a father, shout out to all the fathers, you know what I mean? That just Father Jay just passed. She said, a son for a son. You know what I mean? I will follow on her command to set the toll to the riverlands. And she was looking, and you could tell in her face. Yeah, and Damon is the P. Diddy of the show. Yes, he is. You could tell in her face, you know what I mean, what she wanted. And I love this. And the way that the music and the camera rolled up on her before she announced, you know what I'm saying? Look at just her. One thing I would give this show credit for, the setting, the actual sets that they're using in the show. Number two, the lighting and all of that is amazing in this show. It's legitimately sets the tone. So when they do this close up of her, again, I'm trying to be. They said, "I want Aemon Targaryen." That's what I want. I want Aemon. That's all the only words that she said in the show. She said, "I want Aemon Targaryen." You know what I'm saying? A son for a son, which this episode, a chapter in the book, a son for a son. Now, Damon takes this information, you know what I mean, and said, "Oh, okay, we'll get a child." Now, I don't know about child, but remember the episode of the Boondocks, where they were supposed to be looking for the Xbox killer, and they was just in Rummy and it was Jin Rummy and what's his name? When Usher the Third was just looking for just anybody. No. The kid that took the chain, that episode where his chain got took. And he was like, I need you to look for a kid. He looks like this. And Ed went out and just picked anybody. You know what I'm saying? Any little kid. That's basically what Damon did. Damon said, look, kid, I get you a kid. I just need, it's supposed to be Armand, not just any kid. So it sets up a series of events that should not have happened. You know what I mean? Again, he goes to the White Worm and, I need you to go ahead and move some pieces for me, big dog. I need the rat catcher. I need everything because we're going to need to get this kid. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, this is Jace. You know what I'm saying? Jace found out in the north, with the Starks, that his brother was gone. He's seeing his mother for the first time because remember, he went out on a mission to the Starks, to the north. Luke went out. I can't think of the kingdom he went to. And he came back. His brother didn't. And they went to embrace each other in this scene. Again, character development, showing vulnerability in characters is always good. And the reason why to me that is always good, because then you can see why they react to certain things. Whether it's a reaction of, revenge, submission, whatever the reaction is, you can tell the scene beforehand, this is what we're getting ready to do, because they allow the characters to have humanistic traits and they're just not cookie cutter. You know what I mean? And instead of just him just going off and just doing something dumb, he has a vulnerable moment with his mother. You know what I mean? And he knows that, he could get these 2,000 men, but that's not what he cares about. At this time, he wants to embrace his mother because of the loss of his brother. And again, this is why I really, really like this show. Because a lot of shows now, most of the complaints is maybe bad writing. And sometimes I don't chalk it up to bad writing. I don't think that they set on the emphasis of characters being human. And in this particular scene, it allows the character to be human for just a moment. So when you see the reaction of these characters is well earned. And oh Allison Hightower, you know, I don't like Allison Hightower on this show. I don't. I really don't like her. So they go out with his little brother and they burn, the remaining portions of his brother. Again, this is showing human moments. And I think the human moments is what connects us to the characters on this show. Now, do I agree with a lot of stuff that's going on in the show? Hell no. But then when you have these human characters and you watch it from a story point of view, it makes it a lot better to understand, again, characters' motivations, why they do what they do when they do it. So again, there's a parallel in a contrast because she knows that her son started a war by killing Luke. She knows that. You know what I mean? And she knows that this is the reason this war is going to intensify. So, again, just showing these moments, contrasting the death of one son in basically the start of a war for another son. So now you have this is the start of Blood and Cheese, and you have the rat catchers come up, and they're going into the no, I'm sorry. This is when Damon is out here getting information so he can be able to get Cheese, which is the rat catcher. You know what I'm saying? And the other guy's like, hey, I need a kid. I need blood. You know what I mean? And he goes out and he finds the people that he need, to be able to get the kid. Because again, there was supposed to be who was they supposed to be killing is not who got killed. You know what I mean? But he needs to be able to find something. But again, it's good to see Damon back on the streets in his cloak. You know what I'm saying? Again, Matt Smith is so amazing in this show. That again, doesn't he look like Vigo the Destroyer from Ghostbusters? Why he got on his cloak? I swear to God, for Ghostbusters 2, like if Matt Smith was to redo this, it'll look just like this. You know what I mean? So again, this is setting up what will become the finale on this. So here, again, this is and again, you can say what you want about this about Amon, but he is literally the strategist, from here. Very smart, very intelligent. Good God, God dang it. So he already knows exactly what he needs to do and the moves he needs to make. You know what I mean? But of course, he knows that, if he does this wrong, that it's going to be trouble. And so he's making sure that he could be able to get some of the other, the other realms, the other lands to be able to bend the knee so they could be able to fight with them. Because he knows he got the biggest dragon on the land. He knows he can come up there and destroy half of these people. How do we be able to do it? How can we get this? How can we get this done? And he was like, she's blaming him for for starting the war. Hell yeah, you killed your cousin. So you didn't think that just for a second that this is gonna happen? And because Christian Cole doesn't have a pair of balls on him, he's talking to her son about him. You know what I'm saying? And talking about Allison drew me into her web. You wanted some cooch. Let's be real. You wanted some, you got it. And you wanted to be petty, like Lana J said earlier. You know what I mean? So stop it. And then Otto Hightower came in, and is advising his grandson that he's an idiot. And if we're gonna do this war, we got to be able to do it right. Then again, I kind of want him gone out of this show because he gets on my nerves. You know what I mean? Because oh God, he really irritates my soul in this show. But again, he has to do the advising. He has to be able to, be the voice of reason, quote unquote. You know what I mean? So now the games that you play, you play silly games, you win silly prizes. You know what I mean? So he wants him to calm down, but he can't. He can't calm down. So now we get to Cheese, and Cheese is in the scene. I'm skipping ahead because they out here, so he said you could Aegon the Strong. My nephew already taken that one. And again, he knows that he's the king, he's talking to the king. The king is over there talking. He know his brother is greater for him, but again, he don't care. He just really just there. He really wants to be a good king. And all in all, he wants to be a good king. But he knows that his brother would do his. He thinks his brother would just do his beck and call. But technically, his brother can't wait for you to die too, so he could be on the throne. But it is what it is. But again, Cheese is out here, looking for the kid. It's like, man, I'll kill you and everybody up in here. We know what we're supposed to do. We got to go get a kid. Let's go get this kid. So they go up and they run. Let me see. If this is Blood and Cheese, but he runs into the queen, and it was like a son for a son. He said, that's not what he said. He said we need. I need Amon. I don't need just a son for a son. Just not any son. I need that son. I need him. You know what I mean? But no, did he listen to this? Nope. Blood and Cheese are idiots. You know what I mean? Let's be real. Blood and Cheese are idiots. So it was like, look, you got a son. I need a son. Let's go ahead and pick one. Pick which one is the son? And he was like, look, go look at the drawers and see which one it is. And she picks one out. But if you know at the beginning, she already tells you that Jacereth would not be king. Maybe he does not want to be king. She told y'all. You know what I'm saying? So she's the one who pointed him out. Then grabbed the other kid and said, let's get out of here. While they're cutting the kid's head off. Good God almighty. The sound effect in his mug is disgusting. Oh my God. It is disgusting. So she walks in. Hold on. She walks in, and again, Allison and Christian Cole was out here bumping pita breads, and it was like they killed the boy. And that was the end of the episode. And what is Allison's like, now she's thinking it's Amon. No, it gets even worse after that. So now there's going to be a war between. Now the war intensifies. I'm sorry, because now there is even more reason now for Aegon to like flip his shit. Remember, I said he loves his kids because he's kind of a kid himself. He won't discipline, but he loves his kids. So he's kind of a kid himself. But now he's really going to flip his shit once he found out that it was the heir to the throne is now dead because of son for a son. You know what I'm saying? Even though they got the wrong one. Blood and Cheese flubbed up. And now the war is going to intensify. And I love this. I can't wait. So next week when we can be able to do another review, because I can't wait till next week. There are previews of what's going to go on this season that they play at the end of this, and it's amazing. It is amazing, and I can't wait. And again, I forgive me for messing up some of these names or whatever, but I didn't take good notes, obviously. So, and there's a lot going on in this show that I absolutely love. And I don't know if you guys are fans of the House of the Dragon, but if you're fans of House of the Dragon, check out this show. It is amazing. I love it. I love it. There's so much dynamic in here that, it just makes me want to come back for some more.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right, we got to go ahead and start wrapping this up. I do got another video, which I'm going to start doing. Here, you will see a short video for me. You'll see, of course, the live. The lives are still going to go. I kind of got a way to do things now. So, if you guys see my videos this weekend, I will make a video. And post them throughout the weekend. I also will make videos like I will after we get through with this live. Short videos that we'll post during the day, so you can have another video to watch. Just kind of give you a shorter video with some of my thoughts and stuff like that on there. So I do have a Jonathan Majors video that some people are very, very, very upset that he's winning this award from the Hollywood Unlocked. So it's going to be a short video that I'm going to do on that. And that will post later on today. But what did you think about episode 1 of House of the Dragon? If you guys are fans, what do you think? Put it in the comment section below. But again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. I see y'all tonight for Blurred AF, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Where's my outro at? Got to get up out of here. Got to go.
Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over?
What?
Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.